Hello, good afternoon, everyone. A wonderful Sunday today, and we are all back with our last session of BIA. So, good afternoon, everyone,
Good
and
afternoon,
I welcome.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mukta ma'am and Sumita ma'am.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
So, we are here again for our last session with the BIA certification program, which is in coordination and in collaboration with CBSE and Google, organized by these both the groups for teachers to avail a wonderful certificate of being internet awesome. So, today we are not going to waste our time much because a lot of queries are there, a lot of questions are there by our audience, and we are going to solve them there. So quickly, I'll just share my screen and start with the program. So today is day 3. So quickly, I'll give my introduction. Hello everyone, I'm Ms. Panna Gandhi, founder and leader of GG Surat. I am a teacher by profession, an educator, an edu leader, a Google certified educator, Wakelet certified, Wakelet member, Moat certified educator, Moat ambassador, and as well as edu leader since into this profession since last 28 years. I now welcome Mukta ma'am to introduce herself. Please, Mukta ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mukta Sablok, founder and leader of GEG Ghaziabad. I am HOD Computer Science in Ellen House Public School, and I am also a Google certified trainer, Wakelet certified, book creator certified, and Cami certified. I welcome you all in today's day 3 of this Be Internet Awesome. Over to Sumita.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sumedha Sodhi and I'm the co leader of GG Ghaziabad. I welcome you all for the session 3 of Be Internet Awesome. And I am level 2 certified and working as HOD at Elcon International School. And technology is my passion, which I live. And also, I love it to train other teachers around the world to make their classroom an interactive classroom. And this time we have come up with a unique program of how not only you can use technology, but also you can create digital citizens who are much more aware about how they have to treat others online and how they have to be internet safe. So, looking forward to the session today.
So let's begin the session of day 3. Before going ahead, I'll just take you to the resource which we have already shared with you. So, as you are aware, that this is our resource website shared by CBSC and the Mahatattva team, wherein you have all the modules. So, we have covered in our first session module 1, then we had covered in the second session module 2 and 3, be internet strong, secure or security, and module 2 was about don't fall for fake. And today in our session we are going to cover module 4 and 5. Module 4 is all about it's cool to be kind, and module 5 is about when in doubt talk it out. So, if I talk about it's cool to be kind, what it means exactly. The internet, we all know, is a powerful amplifier that can be used to spread positivity and negativity. And our children take the higher road by applying the concept of treating others as you would like to be treated. So, to to teach them how you can be cool and kind, we are going to talk about everything on this in this module. So this is the first link, you are aware, wherein you have all the unit lesson plan which you can go through it. Next, here is the interactive slide which you can use in your classroom and take up any of the activity which you like, or as we had shared before, that you can always design your own activity as per your age group children and your compatibility or understanding or level of your children in your class. Here is the vocabulary of this module which to be covered in your school, in your classroom, so that children are aware what is the vocabulary related to this module. And lastly, as we have always discussed, is the game for children to play. I'll talk more about this at the end again. So let me explain you about module 3. So before you're going ahead, let's watch this video. Is it audible, ma'am?
Our children seem to spend the whole day online. I'd love to know what they're doing.
The average child spends around 90 minutes online, according to a recent European Commission survey, but it does increase with age. When they're online, the number one activity isn't watching video clips, social networking, or playing games, but schoolwork. Even though being online may seem like a solitary activity, as many as 3 out of 4 children communicate using social networks, instant messaging, and email. To find out what your children are doing online, why not learn about the social networks they use and even play online games with them? Unwanted websites can pop up, so make sure they know how to block them. I'm worried that they could be talking to strangers online. 70% of children surveyed only talk to their friends online. Those who do speak to strangers are usually older children who are actually speaking to friends of friends. But when children do talk to strangers, they rarely end up in dangerous situations. Still, it's always important to give them the right skills to stay safe when meeting online friends in real life. Give your children the freedom to discover the internet and educate them about the possible dangers online. Help your children develop the skills to detect online predators. If they're planning to meet up with an online friend, set rules so it can be done safely.
But how can they have 800 friends online? I only had about 10 when I was a kid.
Having 800 online friends is usually a myth. Most children actually have less than 50. The rest are often just acquaintances. Children want to be popular, and having lots of online friends is an easy way of showing this. The danger is the amount and nature of the information shared, not the number of friends they have. We should all be careful when we share personal information on the internet, so teach your children why they should avoid sharing too much information online. The internet is amazing, but don't forget to talk regularly with your children about being safe online.
So we know that teaching children online how they can be safe online and how they should be knowledgeable and sharing their ideas and perspectives online is very important. And from that, we should also make our children understand how to do these things. So let's reflect. What happens when the school community shifts to the virtual world? So I would like to ask this question to our audience. Just think back upon this. That what happens when a school community, again, if they are shifting to the virtual world, will students face new challenges with the emergence of online learning? What can we do to ease the burden for all parties involved? And this all starts with a healthy dose of empathy. Being empathetic as educators, we know what is the meaning, but do we teach them actually in the classroom to be empathetic? How can we do that? So let's focus. So, if we talk about sympathy, everyone knows sympathy is the feeling of sorrow and having pity on others, thinking about others, and misfortune about others. But being empathetic is more valuable. More understanding is needed. It is the ability to understand another's feeling from their perspective. Putting ourselves into their shoes is very important. And thinking about their feelings and their emotions in their way, how they must be feeling, or how you will feel if you are in the similar situation as your friend or his or her is. So, can we teach empathy? Yes, of course, we can. Empathy revolves around three distinct processes: being able to reason from another person's viewpoint. Example, as I said, putting yourself in another's shoes and validate their thoughts and feelings is being able to reasoning. Sharing in another's feeling and a desire to help. These things we can teach empathy. Through these, we can teach empathy to our students as well. So, here are few of the strategies how we can teach empathy working online. So, let's learn the strategies about that. So, first strategy which I would like to share, according to my perspective, is empathy starts with you. So, first, let's think, do we understand what is empathy actually? Are we ourselves being empathetic all the time online? Whenever any sharing is there, or any picture or any message we see on WhatsApp, on Instagram or Facebook, what we do, we generally comment. But do we think actually that how the person is going to feel before commenting? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Yes, we elders do think sometimes, but unfortunately, sometimes we just share our feelings or emotions without thinking what the person might be thinking. So, empathy starts with you. If we are going to follow this empathetic attitude, or being empathetic towards others in ourselves, within ourselves, then only we can teach our students how we can be empathetic. Remember, students have signs on their foreheads, brain shift, and during online classes, displaying their anxiety or home life situations is very important. So, next is the strategy is guided personal communication. So, this is one of the strategy how we can guide them by our students by being empathetic. We can organize group discussions in our classroom or certain activities where students are sharing their perspectives about a topic or about a situation. A situation is led in front of them via a video or an incident, or sharing our own problem or somebody's problem, and then asking our students what they would do if they are there. I think that is how we can teach guided personal communication can be done. The next strategy is experiential learning technique, wherein we can create an environment in such a way that the students are involved in that, and then they share their perspective about their feelings. So what we can do is, referencing the real world, we can ask our children share some resources in that way, and we can ask them how they feel, and then other students about their emotions. If what would be the answer of that child? For example, you can create a forum in which students find real world examples that they share. So, like few days back, in the last session, one of our member Mukta ma'am had shared about her own experience about being trapped in that payment, online payment, and how what problem she faced. So sometimes if somebody is sharing such a thing, then we can ask our students, so if this was the situation, what you would do? You would block that person, or what would be your reaction? What would be your perspective about this action or this situation? So this is how we can give them experiential learning, and ask them how they can be empathetic and know what could be done when they themselves or others are placing or facing this such problems. One more strategy which I would like to share is self and peer reflection. We all know that students are generally well versed or so comfortable with their peers rather than educators. Of course, we as educators should create an environment where they are very comfortable with us to share their own problems and feelings. But many a times, there are some situations or some feelings or problems which they might not like to share. So what we can do is we can have, as we have class leaders or communities or students community, similarly we can have in our own classroom such communities where we can we can make appoint a student who is comfortable with everyone, or everyone is comfortable with that student, can appoint a student or ask that child to listen to others, because being empathetic is only when you are good listeners. So you it is must as educators also that we listen very carefully and very with lot of understanding what the person is sharing, then share our feelings. So similarly in the classroom also, if any child wants to share their feeling or problems, we can just tell them that they can be comfortable by sharing to their friends or the person who we have appointed in our classroom, with whom everyone is comfortable. So such strategies of self and peer reflection also can be done in the classroom, where they can share their feelings and problems, and later we can help them and solve them. One more is how we can encourage these type of actions or activities in our classroom. Teaching empathy can be boosted. How? So we generally teach a lot of things in our classroom, but kindness, being empathetic, is one thing which we sometimes miss out. But in today's world, it is very important to teach them. So what we can do is we can encourage such students who share their problems in the class. We can boost them, encourage them by giving some awards or smileys or emojis, or some flash cards can be given them. Their names can be flashed out on our display board to be courageous, that they are so courageous to share their own problems with us. And then after that, we can listen. After listening to their problem, we can ask our other children what they can do, and this is how we can encourage each other to share their perspective and make them interactive. The classroom can be interactive, same way they can be more encouraged, and they can be more understanding in the situation, and think about the acts what they can, or actions what they can do when they are facing such problems or listening to someone who is facing such problem. So being empathetic is really very important, and teaching online being empathetic is really very, very important to us. So now I would like to share another video to watch.
Here's the thing. Healthcare organisations are increasingly seeing the value in patient-reported data as a way of managing care. But patients are just sick and tired of monkeying around filling out surveys. The result is garbage in and garbage out. We are turning this around with digital empathy. Digital empathy is a technology framework that is inclusive and empathetic to the patient, whoever they may be. It creates confidence and engagement. To put it simply, digital empathy transfers transactional relationships into trusted relationships. And the results speak for themselves. Better uptake, better quality data, more sensitivity and specificity. Not just a bit better, more like 300% better in identifying suicidal ideation. 400% increase in uptake in hard-to-reach populations. It simply works. Here's the thing,
So,
healthcare organizations are increasingly seeing
So, as we know, we had heard what is being empathetic and why it is very important. So, I feel that when we are commenting on our Facebook or Instagram on others' feelings and emotions when they are sharing, we need to be very careful. And similarly, we should teach our students as well that how we can be reacting when anybody is sharing their emotions online. So being empathetic, I think, is very important. And now I'll just invite my friend to introduce you about the next module and take you through that journey of the next module and how they can be. So Mukta ma'am, please come over and take the charge.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for explaining us and showing us module 4. And now, dear audience, I am going taking you to module 5 of our this Be Internet Awesome. So let me share my screen. So, ma'am has already showed us the resources tab, and this is unit 5, module 5, that is Be Internet Brave. That is, when in doubt, take it out. This lesson implies to anyone or encourages to of the digital world. The students, if they have, we should empower our students in such a way that if they have some query, they should ask us either their teacher or their peers or their parents, but they should be fair enough to ask their question. They should be feel comfortable in trusting anybody as an adult. They should not keep it up to themselves. Adults can support this behavior by fostering open communication at home and in the classroom. Like there should be any teacher, any of the friend, any of the elder one, elder brother, sister, a child should trust. And we have to teach a child that if you have any doubt relating to digital world, you should talk about that. You should not keep it with yourself. If anybody is bullying you or doing something else, the child should be able to explain to it to you, or to share it with the adults, so that adults can tackle it by their own way. So unit 5 of this Be Internet Awesome tells you all the ground rules, classroom rules and expectations you should follow around technology, as well as consequences for inappropriate use. If anybody is using the technology in an inappropriate way, what can be the consequences of that? Keep the dialogue going and checking in frequency and encouraging kids to ask questions. We need to encourage our students to ask their doubts, whatever they have, with anyone, with their colleagues, with their friends, with their relatives, any trusted adults. So this is unit 5 of our this Be Internet Awesome, and I'll take you to the slide deck of this. I hope it is visible. Just a minute. So first of all, I would like you to share a answer that what is, first of all, this is what are the lesson goals. Think, identify and learn the habit. What are they leaving out? That means first of all, this is think. What about it means to be brave? We have to teach our kids to be brave when working online, including what it means to be brave when you are online. Now, I want you, the audience, to write it in the chat box. What do you understand by this statement, being online, being brave while working online? Kindly, dear audience, write it in the chat box. What do you understand by being brave while working online? Okay, I hope we have got some answers of this. Now, identify. The second lesson goal is identify the sources of ideas about what it means to be brave, like where we get the idea to make us brave, make a child brave, and learn this habit of asking what are they leaving out. Let's talk about what does it mean to be brave. So please, if you have not written, I request you to write it in the chat box. Give the answer. What do you mean by making brave while working online? We need to give this activity to the students, so that's why I had planned it for you. You can get this activity in any of the form, be it in the Jamboard, be in the chat box, or they can just write it in the flashcard and show it to you. But this activity is meant for the kids to when you will do these sessions with your classroom.
We request all the audience, please, you make use of chat box and do this activity, a wonderful activity, and you will understand this module really well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Now, this is write the name or job if you don't know the name of someone real or fictional, living now or from history, who has done something you think is brave. Any person, any known person from history, real, fictional, living now, or from history. If you know that that person has done something bravely, just write down the name of that person, just recall it and write it in the chat box. These are the activities which uh, we have designed for you, and these are the activities which you can do it with your kids. So please participate in these activities so that you know how exactly you have to do these sessions with your kids. Just to remind you, after doing this third session, you have to plan with your 100 students to do these all 5 modules. You have to train at least 100 students. Maximum limit is sky's the limit, and you minimum is 100. So write the name of any person from history whom you know who have done something brave.
So we have got answers. We have got answer from Shalini ma'am, Mr. Narendra Modi, and we have got answers Rani Lakshmi Bai, and we have got answers like Subhash Chandra Bose,
Wow.
Swami Vivekanand. So people are participating in the discussion. Very nice. I can read all these messages in the chat box, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, dear audience. Now say yes if you thought it was easy to think of someone you have thought of, you have written. Write yes if you thought it was easy to think of someone who has done these brave things. Write a yes or a no if you thought it was easy to think of someone like this.
People are writing yes, it was easier for them to think about someone who has done something brave. So I think it was easy. And Usha ma'am is writing that for her it was not easy to think of someone who has done something brave. So she has given her perspective about that.
It's okay. When we will do it in the classroom, students will also write it like this only. Somebody will write yes, somebody will write no. So if it was hard, why do you think so? Kindly write it in the chat box, ma'am. As I came to know that Usha ma'am has written no. Why do you think so? If you want to give the answer, please give. Now here comes the next thing. Do we talk about being brave a lot or not very often? The people who are brave, do you talk about being brave a lot, or no, we are not talking about them? Just say yes, we are answering, we are talking about being a brave, or just write not very often.
So, participants are answering that not very often we talk about them, and this is my personal belief also that only during the patriotic and national festivals like Independence Day or Republic Day or
Yeah.
maybe Gandhi Jayanti, we or maybe Sadbhavna Divas, we talk about being brave and we give them awards also. To the bravery awards are also given, but not very often we
Brave.
talk about it. So, this is what the perspective I can read. The participants are also saying that not very often they would like to opt for out of the given two choices.
Yeah, the same thing. We also think that we are not remembering them not very often. Yes, ma'am. So, where do you usually see or hear about people doing brave things? In politics, in real world, where around you? Where do you think? Where do you see, hear? uh, History is there. We have heard about, learned about many historical people who have done many brave things. Movies we are viewing. So give few of the options. Where do you usually see or hear about people doing brave things? You must be thinking that Mukta ma'am was teaching online things, and now how come this has actually molded the sessions to bravery? Yes, it is because the session started that we have to teach our students to be brave. Yes, online we are here to teach our kids about online. So that is what bravery comes in. Other
So,
examples of bravery
yeah,
are, yes ma'am, yes ma'am,
um,
please.
yes, ma'am. So, participants are saying that they have seen through the news items, these brave people are being highlighted, and also on Facebook. A lot of reels are there. Even on Instagram, we see there are so many reels being made where normal people, the citizens of the country who are doing something brave, are being highlighted, and their actions are being captured by someone or by themselves, and then it is being sent viral on the social media.
Yes. Thanks a lot, audience. What other examples of bravery are there? Where else have you learned about what it means to be brave? We have understood what is meant. We have written here what persons are being brave in, like we have seen brave persons in our life or heard about them. Now, what else have you learned about what it means to be brave? Kindly write it in the chat box. Where else have you learned about what it means to be brave? I think the audience have already answered this question.
Yes, ma'am, I can read. Brij Bhushan sir have written that in stories, in imaginations, and when you make others feel empowered, you are brave. And when you make others think feel big, that is the time that we are experiencing the brave things around us.
Yes, very good, very good. Thanks a lot, everyone. Now, here it's for this is for kids that we can ask the kids in the classroom when we are doing these modules to get into groups, and they can discuss among these two things, being brave, not being brave, and they can come into some solution for that, and then you can take over it in your classroom. In your groups, discuss the reasons of your choices. Whatever person, whatever child has selected the reason, yes, no, being brave, or somebody, the persons from, like from history, they have taken that what made your person brave. So now you have named a person, that this person, I think it's brave. Now what made your that person brave? Anyone to example that what made your person, like Narendra Modi ji, you have answered, or you have answered many more from history also. So what made your that person brave? What things they have done which you feel that this person is brave or was brave?
So,
Were
ma'am, we have
there?
answers. We have answers from participants. Our participants are writing that they have done something brave by thinking out of the box in that particular situation, coming out of the comfort zone and taking the courageous steps in the real life. And we also have answers like handling situations in such a way that each one involved feels satisfied and happy. And our
Very
leaders, the brave leaders, has really changed the image of India into the global scenario, and because of which Indians are feeling proud. So all these are the answers we have got from the participants till now.
lovely, 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 lovely. So, were there differences in the types of brave things that real people did and the brave actions of media characters? We have learned about media characters also, and we are listening about real people also. Were there any differences in that? If yes, what differences? Now, the next question says, did you name a person who saved others from physical danger? Yes or no? Like, you are giving us examples that why do you think that these are brave persons? Now, did you name a person who saved others from physical dangers? Yes or no? Now, here comes another thing. Did you name a person who stood up for someone who was being bullied? That means a child is being bullied or a person is being bullied, and the other person stood up for someone who is being bullied or who was being bullied. Yes or no? Did you ever seen a person here when you were naming the persons, brave persons? Did you name any of that person, or do you know any of that person who stood up for someone who was being bullied? Say yes or no in the chat box, please. Have you seen it? Have you uh, realize a person, or if you yourself have done such thing, if you yourself have stood up for someone who was being bullied?
So,
Just
ma'am,
write
we
it.
have participants writing yes in the chat box that
Very
yes,
good.
they have named those people who have done something brave, and also they stood up for being bullied. Either they were being bullied or they stood up for someone who was someone else was being bullied. They also stood up for that particular person.
Very good. Thanks a lot, dear audience. Did you name a person who saved someone from having their feelings hurt, or was kind or supportive of someone whose feelings were already hurt? Did you name a person like that, who saved someone from having their feelings hurt? Like ma'am has already told us about empathy, difference between empathy and sympathy. So did you name any person who saved someone from having their feelings hurt? Yes or no?
So we have answered by Shalini ma'am that during her childhood, she stood up for her classmates who were bullied in the class. So she is also very, very brave. Through this example, we can make this out. And
Yes.
Usha ma'am is writing that yes, I was being bullied because of her weight. So even I can say here that during my childhood, I was also very obese, and every time I used to face a lot of bullying in the school by my own classmates and friends, and also sometimes by the family member. So each one of us have faced one or the other kind of bullying in our life, and I think that has shaped our personality, our character, and what we are today. And some people who have faced it to the extent that they were really hurt. So I'm really sorry to say that they were not able to realize their true potential. And maybe what would they have been today? They were not able to do those careers and profession just because they had a very negative image about themselves. So this is the impact of bullying, which can hurt the child to such an extent that child will not never be able to realize their true potential, and they will always remain inside their shell. And whatever economic development or growth they could have done for our country, they have not done it just because they had a bad image or a negative image about themselves. So this is what we have to talk about in the classroom. The real life examples, like Panna ma'am also shared, the experiential learning. If we share these experiences with students, that we also face this and this is how we have come up throughout our life. So this will give them a lot of motivation. This will give them a lot of ideas that how they can also come out of bullying, and how they can be empathetic to the others, and they can also practice inclusivity in one way. Thank you so much, Mukta ma'am, for sharing such interactive questions that has made us reflect on our own real life experiences.
So,
So,
thanks a lot, dear audience, for participating so bravely here. So, in this manner, we want our students also to participate and to tell you whenever they feel such things, bullying or something, during they are working online or even offline also. So, just a last minute thing, write the most important thing you have learned from today's lesson.
So by the
Uh,
time audience are sharing their own lessons, what they have learned today, I would just like
yes.
to share here that as we had focused on the last two modules about being empathetic and being brave, I think they both go hand in hand. Without being empathetic, like it's not possible to let others to be brave. So we need to be good listeners, and we also need to be encouraging our students as well to be good listeners as well as share their problems so that they can be helped out with their problems and with their issues. Because even I think we as educators in the online world, like when we are grown up, still sometimes we feel that we are into such situations where we are feeling we are facing problems in our career or in our day-to-day life as well. So, if we are sharing our problems, then I think people can help us. And of course, we need to help others as well by being good listeners. So, wonderful explanation, ma'am, Mukta ma'am, about being brave. And I think,
Thank
I
you
hope
so much.
audience have quite well understood about these two modules, that why it is very important to teach these entire being internet awesome program to students, so that they are well versed and well aware about this program, and they can take the online mode very well in a better way and teach students also the same whatever they have learned. So I think the next is like we should uh, here I'll be just focusing on few of the important things about the module. So I'll just share my screen again back and talk about few of the things. Before that, ma'am, is my screen visible?
No, not now, ma'am.
No, no, no.
Yes, now it has started.
Now it's
Okay. So, as you know, we have already shared about all the resources and all, and what are the steps to be taken for your this program to be completed and getting your certificate is again I'll be explaining you that you need to complete these five modules. May not complete all the activities which are suggested in your modules, but at least one activity from one module has to be taken in your classwork in your classroom. You can take the video, you can take the pictures, assemble them, and then collect them. And finally, what you need to do is ask after every module, as we had talked before also. This is the assessment section, I'll just open it. So, what you need to do is you need to just go through this assessment once. And here, again, I'll just say there are after every module, there is an assessment for the students. You can see assessment 1, assessment 2, such 5 assessments. Sir. Once you complete assessment, explanation of one module, or if you have not done yet, please do it so. You can share this link in the classroom, in your computer lab when the children are sitting. You can take them and just share the link and make them appear this assessment, and just go ahead, because it's just a 7 minutes or 10 minutes assessment. Or if you feel that you're not getting that much time, since we are all busy in today's classroom, so what you can do is you can share this link at home and ask the students to fill up this assessment, give this assessment. And one more addition, you can just suggest them by showing them the internet game, which we had already shown you before. I guess we had shown them before. Every module has internet game at the end. So what you can do is you can tell students that once you have given assessment 1, then only you will become eligible to play the game, and show once that game in the class if it's possible. They will be excited, they will be curious, and they will be amazed, and definitely they will appear for this assessment. Also guide them that of course after this assessment they are also getting a certificate of being internet awesome. So encourage them to appear these all 5 assessments after every module. And you need to fill this program. So I'll just share that. Ma'am, the form is open. I'll share it from here. It's okay, I guess. So once you have trained your 100 students, this is the certificate which you need to fill. As I had clicked on the link, this one link, students training completion form. Complete the form given below once you have trained 100 of students. So as Mukta ma'am said you before in the during this session, that you can train more than 100, sky is limit. But minimum of 100 students has to be trained. Now here in the form there are sections which I'll just discuss upon or throw light upon it, which you need to take care of. Your email address, your full name, how you want it to be appear on your certificate needs to be written here properly. The name of your school, the city and the state, your COE which you belong to. Okay, this you can ask. If you are not aware, you can ask your principal. She will definitely tell you which COE belongs to your school or your area. And if it is not noted from here, you can just click on the other section and fill it there after clicking on that. Then you need to write down your contact number, personal email ID, and CBSE email ID. Again, I'll just guide you. If you do not have your CBSE email ID, what you can do is you can just ask this from your school principal. She will help you out to get this CBSE email ID, and please put it that. And then finally, here it is mentioned evidence of training, that is, create 2 minutes video or a PPT, or that means images of 10, max minimum 10 pictures. You can just put in few more, put that pictures in a PPT and share that with along with your 100 students list, because here you can see add a file which is there. If you will open that file, you will have the sheet as well. So it is asked as add the list of the students trained by you using the template provided below. So this is the sheet wherein you will write all your students' name and name along with their age group or class. Here is the place where you will upload your 2 minutes video or the PPT which it is asked for. And here you need to also provide them one photograph of yours. Provide your photograph for social media post. So this is the form which you need to fill and submit to avail your certificate directly to CBSE, and this will give you the certification they if you have submitted everything correctly. So let me come back about this. So this is how your I think the assessment will be over, and I think everything I have explained. Now showing you the exemplars. What exemplars can be shown or presented? Here I have some sample videos. Let me just show you. So what you can here there are two sample which videos which you can just observe so that you can get the idea how you can prepare a video and get your certificate.
You are knowing everything, you will be smart. You will love using internet. You're going to be strong. Right? Was wrong to think that posting the information online would be funny as it would have not been fake. As we must change our password so that if anyone even knows it, then we are safe from it. And the second point that we should have given the password to set to receive so just get me so just now get us learning that we should not say words like we may think that it's good, but it comes as like and
And I'll show you another video, one more video. Sorry, I think this is the same one. Yes.
I'm here to share some news with you regarding your online access on internet. As a teenager, most of the time is spent on internet, on our social profiles. Maybe Instagram, maybe Facebook, maybe we are chatting on WhatsApp, or maybe we are accessing any site. We unknowingly share our passwords with each other. Students, I want to bring up silence. We unknowingly share our passwords with our friends because we like too much of our friends. We share our photographs on internet. Unknowingly we put so many stories on Instagram, but we never take this point into consideration that hackers are always here. Anyone can save your photograph and can create your fake profile. Once your profile is created with a fake name with fake words, you can't blame anyone later on. So it is very important that you people not upload any photograph on internet, whether you are celebrating any birthday party, whether you are having any function at home, or you are putting photographs. And you are putting your email ID on the social media. You are sharing your phone number on the social media, and you never know that online scammers are there. If someone
So let me just take you back once again on this and talk. The most important thing which I would like to tell you is don't forget to take the pledge. And the pledge which is given here, that also you need to take along with your students and capture a video or some photographs as they had done. This is here, you can access the pledge which is here. If you click on that, you will get the pledge. And Just take this pledge in your classroom. It's the document which will have entire pledge, so you can just take the pledge in your classroom with the students and capture some pics or audio or video, whatever you feel comfortable. Now here, I think it's taking some time, but you can go through these resources as I explained you before. And what I would like to tell you is, at the end, that once you have completed, it's not necessary that you need to just prepare a video. As in the second video you observed that with the minimal resources, if your classrooms are not having that much of wi-fi internet issues and everything, if you're facing, then what you can do is you can just take the things in the assembly and take the pictures and then upload it. So similarly you can prepare a 2 minutes video and do the things. I hope everything, all the questions are clear, ma'am. Are there any queries regarding this program now, or any questions how to complete this and get the certificate?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Till now,
one
there are
question
no
was there.
questions.
Ma'am, one question was there that like can we post PPT instead of video?
Yeah, yeah, definitely you can. And of course, your PPT, you can download it is in a video form as well, and then go and post it. Just if you are giving some video, some your introduction or something where you are speaking and taking video, I think it would be much better. But as you feel comfortable, this is not important that you need to just post the video itself. You can place your PPT as well. And now I would like to invite Sumedha ma'am to take this wonderful activity with you. So please, Sumedha ma'am, come over and help our audience to take this activity.
Yes, thank you so much, Panna ma'am. So I hope, Panna ma'am, my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I request all the participants, our dear audience, to join us for an interactive activity on how you can teach your students to be super digital citizens through this interactive LMS learning management system called Nearpod. So I have posted the link in the chat box. I request everyone to join us for this lesson, and we will also share the link of this lesson, editable lesson link, so that you can also take up this lesson with your students. Either you can take it in a synchronous manner, or if you are teaching offline, you can take this session in the online manner also with your students. So it is your wish. Either you can put this as a Google Classroom assignment or a Microsoft Teams assignment, or you can give the link of this assignment to your students to view and learn how to be super digital citizens. So, if you are joining through online mode, you can open this website also in your browser, join.nearpod.com, and it will ask you for the class code. You can put this code over there, which is WI2S4. So let me see if I have people joining us right now. This is the code on my screen, and three people have already joined us. Here you can view the participants also. So let us take it forward and see how we can make our lessons great for our children through this digital citizenship activity. So this is the teacher material and preparation which the teacher has to do, like your learning objective. And this lesson is covering the most essential question: how can we be upstanders when we see cyberbullying happening? The learning objectives are being mentioned here for the teachers and for the students to understand this. So let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about how we can all be superheroes and help others. To start, let's think about superpowers that make someone a hero. So, just now in the last module, Mukta ma'am has talked about how you have to be internet brave. So, this chapter is also talking about your heroic actions in the digital world, how we have to be superheroes and how we have to save others from bullying, and we also have to save ourselves from bullying. So here is a one interactive activity for all of you to write down your thoughts. that do you have a favorite superhero? If so, who is it and why or why not? So many of you have already shared your answers to this question which was posed to you in module 5 by Mukta ma'am, and you gave examples like Narendra Modi, you gave examples like Prithviraj Chauhan, Subhash Chandra Bose, Swami Vivekanand. So you can use this interactive whiteboard for your students to give their answers. They will write their answer in the chat box, and the answer will appear like a sticky note in your collaborative board. So here we have got one answer by Harsimar ma'am. She is saying that her hero is Ranveer Singh. Very good. I am waiting for other answers also, so that we can move on with the activity. All the participants are requested to write their answers, and even Panna ma'am is participating, and she is saying that her superhero is her dad. Wow, very nice. And Shalini ma'am is also there with us, and she is saying that Spider-Man, he's always present to help who are in need. Even Mukta ma'am says that her superhero is her father. Very nice. So here is another activity where a superhero is there with a cape, like every Spider-Man you can just imagine. So every superhero doesn't have a cape, although, but here we have to give this visualization to our children that if this is a superhero with a cape, write in what superpowers make him a hero. What actually you are really inspired of when you see your superheroes. You make use of these digital pens which are given at the bottom panel of your screen, and you can choose any color: blue, yellow, red, and try to write something in the cape. So let me also type that this superhero is very very brave. So these kind of digital tools, if you use with students, they feel very very great. They feel like they're playing some animated games, so that really makes your lesson interactive. So now we are going to watch a video about being super digital citizen. So this lesson will composed of videos, activities, quiz, all the interactive media in one go. So let us watch this video to understand what a super digital citizen actually means.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's. Wait, who in the world are you? I'm Super Digital Citizen. Ta-da! Super Digital Citizen? Are you from another planet? Nope. Can you fly? Apparently not. And why do we need you, Mr. Superhero? Think about it. Every day, kids post, share, play, create, explore, and learn all online. The digital world can be a sinister place, so I make sure that kids are safe, responsible, and respectful. Huh, I guess we do need superheroes like you. Yep, I'm all about helping us kids make good choices. That sounds like one tough day job. Common sense says we can all be superheroes, each and every day. What are your superpowers?
So after showcasing this video to your students, then you can move on to the next slide. And here, let us see what comes. Another collaborative board where the students have to answer something. Think about the video you have just watched and answer, what does a super digital citizen do? So, dear audience, please participate and share your thoughts. After watching this video, what do you think that super digital citizen do? Do they help people in protecting their passwords? Do they help people in protecting their privacy, their secrets, their photographs? What kind of messages have to be floated in the online world? What kind of empathetic attitude has to be practiced in the digital world? So these words, instead of you telling the child that you have to be internet brave, you have to be empathetic, when you show these kind of videos to your students, they are going to rather come up with these answers what actually you want to teach them. So this is how you can make your classroom interactive, by asking your students to do a flip kind of learning, where you are first making them watch some videos and you are asking answers from them. And then there is another activity for the students. You might have noticed that Guts became a superhero. How did he do that? So that man, that character who came with a cape on his back, with a purple cape, he was Gut and he became a superhero. So what did he do? Student will answer in this interactive board that what kind of powers the digital citizens have. And yes, once the children write the answers, you can reinforce it that Gut changed his password to be secure. He protect his tablet with a case and carries it in his backpack so that it's not broken. He asks permission from the heart first before sharing a photo of her online. All these are the actions that a super digital child or a super digital citizen must have. So let's learn who is actually a digital citizen. Someone who uses technology responsibly to learn, to create, and to participate is a digital citizen. And what is cyberbullying? This can also be taught to the children. Using digital devices or sites or apps to intimidate, harm, and upset anyone is referred to as cyberbullying. What are the different forms of cyberbullying? It may take many forms. Someone making fun of or pressurizing someone else repeatedly, any kind of negative comments, memes, private messages, or chatting by the children. The person being bullied not knowing everyone who is doing the bullying and they're not revealing their identity, like we have told you in the first session about the catfishing. A group of people ganging up on someone. All these are the different forms which cyberbullying can take. Then in the next slide, we will see that what the students have to do. Again, a collaborative thinking. Again, a peer, a think, pair, and share activity. You ask your children now, if you see someone being cyberbullied, what is something you could do it? So if you are in the physical classroom, you can post these questions in chits or sticky notes, and you can ask children to come up one sticky note at a time and read out loud what they will do in such situations. So you can make a situation based role play or simulation, and then children can write their thoughts through mind map, or they can verbally speak it, and you can record these activities into the classroom. So that will really help you to document your activities into very interactive and creative way. Another important term that you must introduce to your students is who is an upstander. So an upstander is a person who supports and stand up for someone else who is facing the bullying or any kind of problem. So, super digital citizen, we have to introduce that what kind of examples we can give from the real life experiential learning, like Panna ma'am has shared. Sophia asks permission before posting pictures of her friends online, and she does not share her online password with her friends. Also, she always uses respectful language online. So what kind of term this is matching with? So we can say that this matches with the super digital citizen. So these two terms matches with each other. So this is a kind of interactive activity you can do with students. Maya sees that John made a fake online profile pretending to be Jaden, and she tells a trusted adult. So, what kind of term is matching with it? So, we can say Maya is an upstander. So, if I choose the correct option, it is showing that yes, these two blocks are correct, and this is again an interactive activity. First, Jackson makes several posts online making fun of Tom's voice, and then he spreads a rumor about Tom online and sends threatening text messages. So what is this? Is this child a upstander or a super digital citizen or a bully? So you have to tell these terms to children so that they learn from real life examples. So let us see that on the following slide, we will visit three different scenarios where you will have the opportunity to be a super digital citizen. As you explore each site, imagine what a super digital citizen, or in short, we will say SDC, where S stands for super, D stands for digital, and C stands for citizen, would do to be an upstander, and use the white arrows to move from one scenario to another. So here is the scenario. We will see this is a 360-degree view, and we will see this is the scenario. This is the first scenario which is happening, and I'm using this arrow to go into the second scenario, and let us see what is happening in the second scenario. This is the second scenario, the class scenario, and now this is the third scenario. So these real life scenarios, you can show it to students. And after showing it to students, then there is a question. Oh no, someone spread rumors about somebody else online. Now, what would have been the action committed by a super digital citizen in this situation? So these kind of interactions you have to do with your students. You just not have to ask them that make a poster on this and this topic, or just write a slogan on this and this topic. No, you actually have to do a lot of brainstorming. You have to do a lot of activities where they actually go deeper into this, and they do some kind of research and find out that what actions they might have taken. They were not aware about it that this is cyberbullying, and now after taking up these modules, you will be able to apprise them that what digital citizenship is all about. Then you can pose questions like, are you kidding? While playing a game, one player is writing insulting things to another player. So, what would a super digital citizen do in such a situation, or what an upstander can do in such a situation? Similarly, a question like, someone forwards a message that was meant to be private to someone else. So, what would an super digital citizen do in such a situation? So these questions will be really great for the students to answer, and you can also do it as a think, pair, share activity where children can discuss with each other. And then you can ask your students to create some comic or a caricature of a superhero, and what special abilities or qualities does their superhero will have. In they can also reflect about that, what special powers their superhero can have. They can also think about a story of a superhero, and they can narrate that story in the classroom about a brave digital citizen. They can give a character to their superhero, they can design their superhero, and they can make a picture or a comic strip. So you can do it as your as subject enrichment activity also in your subject. You can relate it to different kind of subjects and take it as a multidisciplinary activity. And after this you have a quiz for the students, that what word summarizes the behavior of a super digital citizen. So the super digital citizen have to be an upstander, a bystander, or a bully. Then you will give this quiz to students to answer. Next question: what does it means to be an upstander? Using digital technology to upset others, supporting and standing up for someone else, or standing up so that someone else can take your seat. So these are few quiz questions. You can post it to your students, and also you can give some essay writing things in Hindi, English, or whatever language teacher. If you are a language teacher, you can give this quote as a phrase to the child, as a prompt to the child, that with great power comes great responsibility. How does this apply to the digital world? Consider how access to the internet is a great power, and what responsibilities do we have to ourselves and others. So, give this as a prompt and ask your children to write paragraphs or essays, or this can be given as a debate in the classroom, declamation or extempore. So, as a language teacher, also you can frame some activities and complete your modules in this way, also, where you do not have to go out of the way from your syllabus, and you are pretty well integrating the Be Internet Awesome program into your own curriculum. So this is again our next question for quiz question. How well do you understand how to be an upstander? This is a reflection question which can be done as an exit sheet with your students. So this is how you can use the lessons from different edtech tools, and you can integrate technology also into your program of Be Internet Awesome. If you do not have access to technology, you can use things like role play, simulation, character portrayals, you can do assemblies, you can do poster making. And if you have access to technology and you think that in classroom it is not possible, you can make use of technology and create assignments for your students to complete at home. So, thank you so much for listening patiently. And if you have any questions related to it, you can please post it, and we will be happy to answer your questions and take up your queries right now. Are there any
So
questions?
I would just, uh, I don't think so, ma'am. Here it is. I
No.
would just like to add up to Sumedha ma'am's things, that yes, we can, you can design your modules and take up the assessments or activities online as she had suggested. Similarly, if you feel that your kids are small, then as the one of the activity which ma'am had showed with the cape, so such worksheets can be also designed and given in the classroom for younger kids. If you're dealing with second or third standard kids and teaching them, want to teach them this being internet awesome, so you can design such worksheets and have that activity in the classroom, or give that as an assignment at home, and then come up with the submit those worksheets. So that can be also done if you are not taking it online, and if your kids are not that grown up to understand, or to speak out, or to do something. You can prepare a dance form or a mime act as well in the assembly, for the assembly, so that things can be covered up. So I hope a lot of ideas we have shared with us, with you, about how you can design your program, how you can implement it in your classroom, and fulfill your all the activities and modules in the classroom, complete that entire program and get your certificate. Still, as we had shared in the chat box also, our group, uh, which we had created, will be still on till 15th of September, end of the September. And if you have any queries, you may just ask, and we will, any of us will always be there to answer your queries and solve your problems. So please buck up. And today is 14th of August, and your end date, that is last day to submit your application, is 15th of September. So you have complete entire month. You can design your module, plan it out, and please do the needful. And we will be very, very glad if you are available, able to get the certificate in no time. And wish you all the best. I feel that a lot of things are shared. Ma'am, would you like to say at the end anything?
Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining these 3 wonderful days. And we hope that whatever we have designed for you will help you out in taking these sessions in your classroom. Yes, definitely. Any queries regarding this program, regarding creating of if you are unable to make the video, then also like any help technologically also, we are there, all three of us will be there to help you out in that, and we'll glad to have you seen your certificates with your 100 students. To remind you, your 100 students will also get certificates with you, whosoever like whatever students you will teach, they will also get the certificates along with you. Thanks a lot
Yeah.
once again for joining. I hope everything is done. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
end, I
Thank
would
you
just
so
like
much.
to yeah, thank you. And at the end, I would just like to tell you, because there were a few of the queries in the chat box, that what is GEG. So what I would like to say is GEG is a Google Educators group, wherein we educators inspire, empower, learn, share our ideas, collaborate, teach them about tech tools, how that can be implemented into education. So that is all we do. And if you are interested in joining our group, we have already shared in the link below, our WhatsApp group link. So please do the needful and join our group. So, and stay connected with us till when whatever time we you want, and ask for help if you need. We can be always be happy to share our learnings with you and help you out. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone, for joining us. And in the end, I would just like to say that just because our kids know how to use Twitter or Snapchat or Instagram, it doesn't mean that they know how to use the technology to enhance their learning. So, as informed citizen of this country and informed citizen educators, it is our foremost duty to make our children super digital citizens. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for all the 3 days, and all the best to all of you to become the internet awesome educators. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.